Welcome to the We Out Here show. Like, comment, and subscribe. Like, comment, 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 subscribe. Go like and subscribe. We need you to go like and subscribe. What else, Nick?
And click the bell for notification.
Maybe hey, welcome to the We Out Here MMA, not podcast, but show, but now podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Is it Apple Music these days, or they go by Apple Podcasts? I don't
Apple
know.
Podcasts.
Is it Apple Podcasts? Shout out to Apple
Nobody
Podcasts.
uses Apple Music anymore because Joe Rogan is on Spotify.
But look, if you're on Spotify, I don't know how it works, but is there a rate button? Like, what is the thing to help us?
We find out.
First of all, this motherfucker is literally pouring water and missing.
High pouring.
But guys, I don't know how Spotify works, but if there is a place to, I don't know, subscribe or to give us stars, do that. I know on Apple, it helps us a lot to move up through the ranks, which means more people can listen to this if you guys leave a comment and you rate and subscribe as well on there. So please do that and be as interested in this podcast as Nick right now, where he's literally looking at his phone, checking DMs to see people hit him up. Because he's...
No, I just followed the show, and I was looking for a way to rate our show, and I don't think we can on Spotify. So please, everybody at home that's listening, if you guys could rate it on Apple Music Podcasts, we would greatly appreciate that.
Thank you
for watching again. And you know what we should talk about? The moment that Alex had today. We're at Korean Barbecue celebrating our 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. So thank you guys for subscribing.
Thank you, everyone.
The waitress comes by. I mean, the waiter comes by and starts pouring some tea.
Definitely a Korean man, you racist.
There was. He was pouring some tea for Alex, and Alex swatted the fucking teapot out of reaction and was like, "Hey, I said I wanted regular water, dude."
And I pointed at him.
This guy is the rudest guy. We can't take him to fucking any restaurant anywhere, dude. What's going on, bro? Why did you have such a reactionary reaction?
What was it called? It was like berry water or something?
It's like...
It was the furthest thing from berry water ever created in mankind. I didn't even do that. Literally, like, he just went and poured. I was like, "Oh no, I'm okay. I don't want any more." Because it tasted weird, bro. I don't know what it was. I drank like 4 of them though, but it was just like I just wanted this water. And you know, like when you want water, and like someone's like, "Oh, here, have some carbonated water." I'm like, "This isn't normal water." Or they're like, "Here, have some Propel." I'm like, I want just water though, you know, not like something that tastes weird. And so it was like yellow.
Does it matter? Because you end up getting Diet Coke anyways.
Yeah, but I also did you see how fast I chugged that water, bro? That's how dehydrated I was. I was like,
like how?
Ooh, you're the guy that gets the long ass line at the kissing booth. Shit, if that's the promo for the kissing booth, I'm in.
Your lips move a lot. I'm into it.
And that shit was actually low key, like high key and middle key good.
What is
all keys, all type of keys.
So guys, if you haven't had Korean barbecue yet, make sure you eat it. It's delicious. It has good macros, or I guess it has good protein. I don't know about the macros. Sorry, Nick.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
There's no carbs.
Hey, when you go eat Korean barbecue, don't even worry about your macros. Just go enjoy it. Go enjoy.
The worst thing that you can eat there, right, is like the rice, and then if you dip it in sauce like every single bite, like I do, and then you use rice paper like I do, and then you eat all the other stuff like I do, that's when it becomes bad. But
nah, you'll be fine. It'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
And also, guys, we're gonna take a first We Out Here poll. What do you guys like about everyone's backgrounds? I just want to see down in the comments who has the least interesting background and who also blends into their wall. So leave it down in the comments below, and you have a chance to win money from me to buy something for someone so they have something more interesting on the show.
Oh, what do you want me to do? Put a fucking guitar in the background like you, Gil?
Oh, I don't here, play. Bro. Oh, what? The bearded barley, his kiss.
Oh my God, do you play guitar? Please show us something.
Alex has one too in the back left.
Yeah, play that guitar on the back.
Oh, that's a broom and a super soaker. Is that a super soaker, dude?
I got a broom. I got a duster, and I got a the thing where it kind of like mops the floor.
Dude, you're jerking yourself off on camera. Stop.
That's how big it is, though, huh? Nice.
Ooh, two men winking at each other. I like that. Guys, this is an MMA podcast. You probably were wondering, is this one of those just talking podcasts where they just talk about stuff?
That's it.
I don't know, rooms? No. This is an MMA podcast. This is a podcast. Guys, we have an amazing show today. We're going to recap this past weekend's fight where I got every single thing wrong in terms of picks. We're also going to chat a little bit like what's next for each fighter. And also we got some amazing news stories, specifically Dustin and Connor drama. So we're going to get to that right away. And also we're going to give you guys our picks for the Whittaker Gastelum fight coming up this weekend. And you're gonna like these picks. They're gonna win you some money, and by money, no money. All right, guys, let's get to our fight recap. No cap. We had Martin Vettori versus Holland, who was a late-minute replacement on ABC. A lot of eyes on this fight, and guess what? Your boy picked Holland to win that fight with knockout, coming back with Travis Lutter coaching, and Marvin Vettori decided to wrestle him and won the fight. What did you guys think about this? Was this a juicy fight too? Did you like this? Was it something that you felt people watching were like, "Whoa, this is I got to get into UFC"?
No, if there was ever a fight, this probably wouldn't be it, right? Because you think about our debut, the UFC debut on ABC. What did they get? They got Max Holloway, Calvin Kattar, probably the most fascinating fight of 2021, probably for the whole year, right?
Still to this day,
and I feel like it's gonna be like top two out of the whole year. But this fight, it was a good fight. It was an interesting fight because you got to see the dynamic between obviously the classic grappler versus striker, right? Even though Marvin's very well rounded, but he's really good I think he's very underrated on the ground.
That's what people say about most Italians.
And that's the thing about most Italians, that they're very underrated on the ground.
And they know how to cook some pasta.
Hey,
racist Cam, slap it on that big ass face.
But yeah, Kevin Holland looked a lot better than he did against Derek Brunson, and arguably, I might say Marvin Vettori might have more tools on the ground than Derek Brunson, right? Like Kevin Holland seemed like he was making more of an effort to try to get up to his feet and like at least trying to stop a couple takedowns, even though he was unsuccessful most of the time. He looked pretty good on the feet. He was catching Marvin Vettori. So if he's able to fix his wrestling, Kevin Holland, he's dangerous at 185.
Yeah. Alex, so what happens? What do you think happens for Holland, man? This guy did 2 back-to-back fights. Not back-to-back, but he did 2 fights in a row where he lost. It was kind of like fighter of the year for a lot of people the prior year. What happens now? Would you consider him done? Or like, oh, the hype is done? Or do you think he's still in that mix? He just needs to get maybe some training somewhere else. And I know he's been talking about AK for a bit.
Yeah, I think he just needs to take time off and not be like the active fighter that he wants to be, because it's like, looks good for like the company and more fans and stuff. But I think the blueprint's out there to beat him now is if you have decent wrestling. I mean, you're most likely going to be able to, control him on the floor. But yeah, I mean, he's talking about training at AKA. That I think that would be good, because DC was even saying in the commentary, like, it's just little minor things that he's doing that he possibly, like, if he changed, it might change the outcome on some of the takedowns, right? Like he said, like when Marvin Vettori got his hands completely locked, Holland wasn't like turning around, wasn't rotating and then trying to break the hands or anything. It was more of he was always just trying to open up his legs. And then when they were against the fence, Dominic Cruz was talking about when they're against the fence, he's not even like, twisting his feet like to be parallel with the fence and try to like do all that type of shit. So, I mean, I don't know. It's crazy because I feel like it looks like when he's doing it, it's like he's on like such a lower level than these guys. And I know they're good, but like when they take him down and shit like that, I'm like, damn, bro, like, I remember when I first did MMA class at Fight Academy, that was like the first thing I learned is right when you get against the fence, like rotate your feet and like spread them, like keep them against the fence, right? Like pointing towards them so you can kind of keep a longer base. And
again,
at the same time, he's fighting like, big strong ass people. But I think it's good. I think honestly, what I personally want to see
is he in the mix still, or with?
I think
names?
he can be. I think he can be. I think it's just little things. It's just if he can be an Izzy, if he can just not get taken down, he's going to be dangerous because his striking's so good. But my personal opinion and what I want is I want to see him go to 170. That's 2 fights in a row. He just weighed in at 183. I'm like, bro, and he doesn't look, when he weighs in, he doesn't look dehydrated. He doesn't look like he's dying.
He's skinny.
I'm like, bro, I think he can make 170. I really do.
I like that too. And this is for both of you. We'll go to you, Nick, first. So Marvin wins the fight. Vettori's in the game now. He's got another win. Obviously, he was supposed to fight Darren Till. Darren Till called him out after the fight. Basically, he can bust him up. What do you think happens there? Do you think that we get the Darren Till fight right away after that 5-round match, or do we give Marvin someone else now in the upper echelon?
What? It sounds like Marvin is pretty set on the fact that he should get a title shot, right? Like he was talking about it all in the post-fight press conference, saying, he's on a pretty good win streak. He's beating some good guys, so on and so forth. And he's definitely right. But it just sucks because Kevin Holland is coming off a pretty one-sided loss a couple weeks before, right? Against Derek Brunson, who's kind of like, in the top 10, right? But still kind of not necessarily in the mix yet. And so is Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland is like still in the top 10, right? Top 11, top 10. And he's really good. Like he's very good. But I feel like you had Darren Till get replaced by Kevin Holland, who is Darren Till is like number 5 in the division, right? So
really? Jeez.
It's a pretty, he's pretty up there, So it's a pretty steep step down in competition as far like ranking wise, not like skill wise, but like ranking wise. So I feel like he probably is going to have one more fight to get to the title. And I feel like after watching him against Kevin Holland, he'll do pretty well against Darren Till. I think it's a favorable matchup for him. I don't know if he's going to win, but I feel like it's a favorable matchup for him because, you clearly saw he was going to try to take him to the ground. Right. And whether he gets Darren Till on the ground or not, we're going to have to see and find out. But I think for the most part, that's a good matchup.
T. Woodley. He's going to get him on the ground. T. Woodley. He's going to get him.
He's a different fighter now. We'll see. Who knows? But Marvin Vettori's a motherfucker, bro. Like he's going to be a tough guy to beat. And I feel like
he's a what?
He's a tough motherfucker. I feel like there's a reason why nobody wants to fight that guy. It's because he just matchup wise, he's just a real tough matchup.
Yeah. Alex, same sentiments. What do you think with Vettori?
Yeah, I think
Gastelum winner.
I don't know.
Whittaker winner.
Yeah.
Huh?
They're in the same spot though too. Like Robert Whittaker and Kelvin Gastelum. Like Kelvin Gastelum's great, but at the same time, it's like they're in a similar spot. Last minute replacement. Yeah. Robert Whittaker's like, fuck it, I'll fight this fool. Like whatever. And so is Marvin. So it's kind of a weird limbo.
For Izzy too, I mean, like that would all be rematches for him.
Yeah,
Marvin's a rematch, Gastelum's a rematch, Whittaker's a rematch. My only thing is, I think Marvin Vettori out of all those fights, I mean Marvin Vettori. Actually, Kelvin was a good fight too. Yeah, but Marvin Vettori took him to a split decision. It was a really close fight, bro. And Izzy has gotten better, but so has Marvin. And Marvin's working with some really high level boxing coaches now. When he came into the shop, he was telling us, and he's like
Julian Chua. That dude's sick.
That guy comes into the shop all the time. He really, really good. No, he's actually like a really good.
He's coach. Really good. He coaches like pro boxers, bro.
Julio Chavez Jr. I'm not stupid.
But I think
you did know, bro. Oh my god.
I don't know. That'd be cool. I'd like to see him fight that, or I would like to see Marvin fight Paulo Costa.
Oh,
I still want to see that fight. I still want to see that fight. Paulo Costa number 2. So
big boy.
That would be a very good fight.
I like that one. Yeah, it's interesting. You bring up Izzy. It's like, who does he fight? No wonder he wanted the Darren Till fight so bad. I didn't realize everyone is a rematch.
Yeah, and he could also fight Jared Cannonier, but Jared Cannonier is coming off that loss too. So
he doesn't a broken arm.
He doesn't have but yeah, guys, that's interesting. Hopefully we'll see what Marvin does next. If it's the rematch or with one of those other fighters, we'll see. Any other shout-outs, guys, to the card? We've had winners Arnold Allen, Julian Marquez, Mckenzie Dern, Daniel Rodriguez, Mike Perry. I'm going to just say right now I got every single pick wrong in the main card except my girl, Mckenzie Dern.
Let's go.
What? I called it. She's a different fighter. She knows what she's doing now. I think she gets like a top 5 fighter.
I think she should. I think 100% she
I don't know who's available.
She looks so good, dude.
But she does. I don't know who's available, but she does.
You know who she should fight?
What? The winner? No. The championship winner? No.
I'm talking about Joanna Champion. Is she still fighting, bro? I feel like on Instagram, she's living the life, bro.
I know, huh?
She's like, she's not even fighting no more.
She got that sponsorship money.
And low key, I'm like, get out while you can. Especially what happened with DJ, and you watch a KO like that for a guy so fucking good.
We'll talk about that later, okay?
We'll talk about that later. But like,
it's gonna come.
You want your champions. You want the people to get out of the sport. You want to be like GSP. You want to be like Habib. Where it's like, fuck it, I'm done. I'm not gonna go back. That's pretty cool in my opinion.
Not done.
He's done, bro.
Oh my God, he said he's so done that I gotta say, oh my God, before that shit, bro.
Okay, hold on. Before we go on, who's more done, GSP or Habib?
Habib.
I think Habib is more done than GSP. I feel like we can get GSP back if GSP's timing's right.
Joe Rogan. If you've been on Joe Rogan, you're retired, you don't come back. Habib hasn't done Joe Rogan yet. Also, I don't think he would fly here for that.
It's not a thing. It's not a thing.
Or it could be. Hey guys, shout out to you guys. I love Mckenzie Dern. I really think she's gonna get a top 5 fighter next. Maybe Joanna. That's a good build-up fight.
You stole mine, but I'd say D-Rod.
Yeah,
this dude
D-Rod
outclassed Mike Perry, and Mike Perry's a strong, tough motherfucker, bro. And he has 17 broken noses, motherfucker. Sorry, a mother effer, because I'm gonna stop cussing. But Daniel Rodriguez apparently fought with a torn pec. Isn't that crazy?
Did you see his Instagram story too? He posted April 4th. His hand was just literally a ball. Oh, bro, his hand was so swollen. But bro, he pieced him up, and he has one of the highest striking rates now in the whole welterweight division. He pieced him the fuck up, but we kind of called that shit. Me and Nick, at least.
That jab.
Ooh, if your lips get any bigger, I swear to God, it's gonna turn into a hot air balloon, and we're going somewhere.
How come Alex could do that face and his eyes don't disappear, but mine do?
Hey man, get an eyelid. All right,
get an eyelid, dude. Get an eyelid.
1.5.
Get some surgery. All right.
But that, and then
Alex, who do you like? Alex, what fight did you like from that main card, or just a card in general?
I mean, I got everything wrong, but D-Rod and Marvin. But that D-Rod fight was dope. I mean, he put it on Mike Perry, bro. He put it on from Mike Perry, and I think that was cool. I like it because remember all the shit that what went down with Don Cerrone and Jackson Wink when Mike Perry went over there, and they basically chose him. So this was just another hey, this is Cerrone's
I forgot about that.
Hey, my boy, go do some more work on this motherfucker right quick, and just went and did some work. But it sucks because I low key, I like Mike Perry.
Me too.
And I just feel like he's falling on some hard times right now. Yeah. In the fight game, at least. I don't know about his actual life. I try not to follow him that much anymore because it was just so random shit. And it's all right. But
he different now, bro. He different now.
Yeah.
Did you listen to that interview of him?
Yeah, I watched
I
bit.
didn't.
He's a little different. It's a very different from the days of him fighting old people at restaurants.
Yeah.
But
like
it's
a couple months ago.
I feel kind of bad because I feel like he should have stayed with a team. Like that whole moment of time where he left and he's like, oh, I'm just gonna have my girl coach me or corner me and random people hold mitts for me and shit. Like it kind of honestly kind of messed up his career. I feel like he should have stayed with Jackson Wink. He did one fight with them and it didn't go his way. But I mean,
I think maybe he will now. Because when I listen to him talk about it, I'm just like, I think he's a little different. Once he had that kid, he's like, yo, I had a baby and, I just want to make sure I take care of that thing. And he's just going off on it. And even Darren Till was like, yo, you can come over here and you could live with me and train with us because now he's like, dude, I really do care and hope that you have some success, which is pretty cool. But they're buddies now. They're best buds.
Well, we'll see what happens with him. I do hope that Mike Perry, just gets a win streak going. He's a win in life, and I appreciate that guy. Alex, hit me with that sound effects. With the
A little bit of a delay today.
Welcome to the We Out Here Morning News at 8:20 p.m. Sponsored by Finger Meat.
Ooh, Finger Meat was slapping today.
Which
right?
I still don't know what that is. I think it's from a short rib. If any Koreans out there know what's up with Finger Meat cut, I want to say it's short rib. I don't.
Is that what it's called?
Fully.
Or it might be the finger of the animal.
You know, when I said finger meat, Alex actually did think it was finger meat. I can look at his face.
I just looked it up.
What is it?
Finger meat is cut from beef ribs, sliced into thin strips without the bone. It's very tender and it's very juicy. So we were right. It is from the the short rib.
You know what else is from the tender spare rib and who's also feeling kind of tender right now is your boy Conor McGregor. He got his buttons pressed and now he is back to the burning Conor that was once.
Yes,
guys.
Fuck yeah, bro.
Breaking news, literally happening. Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier might be in jeopardy due to accusations of Conor McGregor not paying his $5 million, not dollars, $500,000 donation.
I was like, what the fuck?
Million.
I sound like Dr. Evil. Cut that clip in, Gabriel.
$100 billion.
You guys don't know.
Then cut in the clip where he's stuck in the hallway and he's reversing forward, back, and forward, back, forward, and back.
All right, and then now
another good scene.
Now cut in footage of Alex benching 500 pounds. All right,
close.
And we're back. Almost got it.
No edits were made.
So, guys, basically Dustin, I don't know how it started. Maybe Nick, you can jump in here, but I believe Dustin posted something about basically to pump up the fight and said something on Twitter about Conor didn't pay up the $500,000 he said he would for my charity, and then I think he was like, but he'll find out fight night. All debts will be paid or something like that, and then Conor came back with old. Straight up
Billy
cool Conor, which was let me read some of it.
He's like, I will drive my horse.
I can tell you what started it.
Stab you in the neck.
What was the actual story?
Conor?
Kick, huh?
Yeah, Conor just made a prediction that he was gonna knock out Dustin in the trilogy, and then Dustin was like, you also made a prediction that you were gonna donate $500,000 to,
which is a funny clapback. That's a good clapback.
Yeah, so
and then Adi got involved.
July 10th, paid in full. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Adi got involved, and then Conor went back, and Adi went back. It's great. I think, what was it? Conor was like, a donation out of debt we've been winning, the plans for money that never came. I do with all my donations, know where that's going dot for dot. Otherwise, it goes walking. As we see with the case of this foundation, sadly, you took the McG over the belt. Shows I was right. And then he said stuff like, you will pay with your brain for this attempt at smearing my name. Shooting ass, shelling ass, bitch. Oh, little bitch kicks from a shell. Good luck when you're caught. You're fucked. And I think Diamond put a gif of Conor getting knocked out.
Yeah, the picture.
Okay.
He's at Ari, dude.
Dude,
hey, you know
this
what
is good.
Means, though?
This is good.
This is good. Because now
now we have Conor McGregor 7.0 coming back, and
no. Inshallah, baby, Habib #1, brother. Nah, but the good thing about all this is that now it's a little spicy, right? Because something did feel weird in the last fight. It was with them being it's cool to see them all cool and stuff, but I'm like, I kind of want to see that when you guys are retired. You know what I mean? When you guys are about to fight each other. And especially when it comes with Conor, we want a big drama show. And even with Dustin, too. And I like that Dustin's talking some shit. And now every time he talks some shit, he always has the ultimate trump card on Conor. tell him to shut the fuck up because I just knocked you out, and that's pretty cool.
And also, you said you would donate money to kids that were suffering in poor ass
my hometown, bro.
And you didn't.
You know, he didn't do
look
shit.
At Alex. Alex doesn't care. He didn't care for this fight. He was like, Justin Gaethje and Dustin should have fought for the belt. It's so good. Bro. That's freaking Alex.
He should have, first of all. But here's my thing, bruh. Who knows who's right? My whole thing is, I feel like what's gonna be good for this with Dustin is Dustin's gonna be in there with how Nick just said. Dustin, every shit that Conor just talked, I bet you anything, Dustin be like, all right, then, all right, but y'all, you remember what happened in January, right?
He's like, I slept you.
Like, this is gonna be
his voice is gonna get that. His voice is gonna get that high.
Wow,
and then
guys.
he's like,
check out Alex's new OBS audio. It's actually a feature that changes his voice. Do it again. It picks up.
No, that shit hurt my throat.
Did you see blood? It's just blood.
No, I don't know. I wonder who's right about this, you know?
I bet it's a combination, yo. Because this is a lot of money. $500K to donate. I'm sure, because usually when people donate like large sums of money, there has to be some accounting done, right? And there has to be agreements, and seems like a big deal. So
here's my thing, though. Here's my thing. Ready? All right. Not even that I just not a fan of Conor, but like you said, you were gonna donate. You said you were gonna donate the money, no matter what, right? That was just the thing. I'm gonna donate money to his charity. But then when they were talking about it, he was like, "Yeah, but we were waiting to see where our money was gonna go to." It's like, but why does that matter? You just donate it to the charity. You said you were gonna donate it. You said you were gonna donate it to the charity. Like, you really think Dustin's just gonna pocket that shit?
No. Well, as far
obviously,
as
it's like an actual charity.
Well, you guys are getting heated.
But that's standard practice.
Don't politicize
though, you know
this.
what I
Don't
mean?
politicize this, guys.
And that's the problem.
Trump.
And that's why Alex supports Asian hate.
I always got nervous going.
I'm like, hey, that's a little too far. People are gonna come after me.
Hey man, don't joke about that. Don't joke about that.
Hey, yo.
No, but also it could be true. Like, what if they talked about that? What if Conor was like, yeah, just let me y'all donate it, just let me know where it's gonna go, and then Dustin never told them where it was gonna go. So I mean, it could be devil's advocate on both sides. I've said that 30 times today, but yeah.
I'm sure it's just a combination of both, right? It's just like, it's the whole thing. But now we're not even talking about the fight. We're talking about the fucking politics of this shit. And we get wrapped up again because that's what gets the views on videos.
Look,
okay.
They both
is
knew
the politicized.
They both know what was they know what was going on, that people weren't happy with this. Like, people are like, why is this happening again?
Yeah.
Dustin wants the money. I guarantee Dustin got it, his charity got it. And Conor was like, hey man, I can't be nice to you this one. I actually will donate more for this third fight to your charity, but like, we need to build something up. I'm gonna be my asshole self. Just respond the way you gotta respond. It's like, we have to sell this fight to the masses.
And that's what I'm hoping for. I hope that is the best case scenario. That would be really cool. And then this whole thing about like, oh, the fight's canceled. That's a good, like, that's the other trump card that Conor has. Conor has the trump card of like red panty night, and then Dustin has the I knocked your ass out trump card. That's
a pretty good card too.
It's a good battle. It's a good battle here.
Well, we'll see what happens if the fight is not canceled. But I am
if Conor doesn't take it, it's because he's scared.
I agree.
And if Dustin does take it, it's because he knocked Conor's ass out. You know, I'm gonna do it again. I still have Conor winning that fight.
Yeah, right.
Right, Nick? No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, for real.
Yeah.
You really think Conor wins that, the third one?
I'm gonna go. I don't even know anymore. I don't even.
I'll back up.
Anytime. Here's the thing. I'm a big Conor McGregor fan, but every time I see him post Instagram picture and he is wearing that fucking little top hat, it makes me not like him as much. I don't know what it is. Like, when I see him kicking the brick statue and he has the little hat on, I'm like, come on, bro. He has like no shirt and then just the hat. I'm like,
Nick,
on, dude.
Anyone could say that for you. I've seen you shadow box with freaking Crocs, a fanny pack, a tank top, and tie-dye shorts. So who are you to judge him?
I'm not, but that's how I rock it. And I'm not Conor McGregor, bro. You know what I mean? I'm not Conor. Yeah. I'm just Nick Dunn. I'm a goofy little fucking Asian dude. So that's totally fine.
At the end of the day,
that's my brand.
At the end of the day, we all know Dustin's finna win that third fight.
Oh, key, man.
I thought Alex was going to say, in the end of the day, Gaethje's going to get the belt.
Connor's going like that right now. Dutton going like that.
I say this, you're going to see, at least you're going to see Connor in a karate fighting stance. You will not see him in a boxing show.
I bet it's the same thing.
No.
With a fucking top hat on.
I bet it's the same thing. I bet he comes out and he's bouncy for a couple seconds, and then Dustin will throw a kick or something like that, and I bet you anything they're going to just start throwing hands, and Connor goes back to the same exact thing.
I don't know. I see him submitting Dustin.
Flying triangle.
Just like how you saw Francis Ngannou submitting.
Like I'm the only person that
he kind of...
He didn't submit him. He put him to sleep a different way.
No, submission
he kind of did.
Punch. Submission punch.
Yeah,
and that he tapped on the last
one
too.
His thumb was up.
All right, guys, let's get to our next little news story here. Aljamain Sterling seeking surgery for his neck. Could be out for 6 months. Vettori calls for stripping of Sterling. Guys, that sucks. When I heard about him getting surgery, I was like, so once again, I guess we're just going to wait it out. Or what do you guys think happens next?
Man, I don't know, dude. Aljamain is just really good at making everybody so mad at him. Like, anytime he's in the news, bro, everyone is just yelling at this dude for, being a faker and just, like, talking about, like, he has the belt. That's probably, I'll just say this. That's probably the biggest tragedy is that, like, the belt was awarded to somebody. The fact that there should be just a vacant title. Then now we have to wait for this dude. We have to wait for him to get his surgery, which is, if you're going to get surgery and you're going to fight in the biggest fight when you come back, yes, I would say fucking make sure you recover, get all that taken care of. But it's just like, when you hear this news, you're just like, of course, like, dang, like another one. And everyone's just pissed. Everyone's so mad at fucking Aljo.
Yeah.
He's got to get a surgery, though. He's got to get a surgery, What are you going to do?
Alex, what do you think? Do we strip him? Or it's going to be kind of ridiculous to strip him, even though I feel like we sit on so many other champions in the past. Alex, what do you think? Do we set up a contender?
Hold on, I'm going to let you know how I feel about this. Ready? So, look.
What?
Aljo
I still don't know.
Hey, hold on.
I don't know.
I still don't know. What are you gonna say?
Let brother speak. Let brother speak facts right now.
Interrupt him more.
Your boy been a writer for Aljo for a minute.
Yeah.
You're the Aljo resident expert.
But like what Nick is saying, bro, I'm so mad that he's playing into all this. I'm gonna be a troll and la. Because they were all talking shit about Henry Cejudo doing the same exact fucking shit. And now he's like playing into all of it, bro. I'm just like, it's kind of getting like, it's too much, bro. Like, I honestly.
What do you want me to do? He's backed up into a corner.
Just accept it. Be like, okay, yeah, bro, look, I won the belt a weird way. We're going to get this rematch in. Even if he's like that and he's like, I have to get the surgery first. Cool. But he's like making jokes about all this shit and stuff. It's like, bro, come on. It's a little like you can't. To my thing is you can't talk. Everybody talks so much shit about Henry Cejudo being.
Are you holding a highlighter while you're talking? Please put it down.
It's a fucking box cutter. Okay.
Oh,
so be careful.
What do you want him to do? You want him just basically to shut up and kind of just.
Basically just be like, look, bro. Okay, I know you guys are mad about how I won the belt. I'm mad too. We're gonna get this rematch on. I need to get the surgery first. Because when he talks all this shit and he's been talking shit to him, and then when they like, all right, let's fight, and he's like, oh wait, I've had this injury for 10 years, I have to get it fixed now. Immediately everybody's gonna be like, oh look, he's scared, he's actually scared. I'm like, bruh, just be different.
Yeah.
But I do like Aljo, and the benefits of this, in my personal opinion, is this will give him more time to train for that fight, because that fight, after that first round, it didn't look like it was going good for Aljo.
It was
be straight up. So I mean, he needs some time if he wants to try and beat Peter Yan.
Yeah, he's got to get on that McGregor fast program.
I mean, don't get on McGregor, because then he's just gonna lose 6 fights in a row, and for some reason everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, Conor McGregor 19.0 is coming."
Exactly. At least he keeps upgrading. Other fighters say
and he gets more money. Hello,
boom, Alex. Guys, really quick. We're gonna take everyone jump on the plane And I don't know why I did a plane like this. What plane? And we are flying all the way to Asia, guys.
No, we're in Singapore specifically,
Singapore, where there is a class system and colorism is rampant.
Cool. Let's talk about the good stuff, huh?
ONE FC. Demetrius Johnson loses KO to, I believe his name is Adriano Moraes. Unfortunately,
Brazilian.
He gets kneed on the ground, but it is legal at ONE FC. So my question to you guys is just really quick thoughts. How do you feel about DJ losing? Because he's one of the greatest. He's a GOAT. And also, how do you feel about the knee to the ground? It is legal there. Alex, your hand is it looks stiff. Go ahead.
Honestly, like everybody was like so surprised, but I kind of wasn't because I've seen DJ lose before when he fought Dominic Cruz and stuff. So it's like seen him lose. You know, it's not like he was like undefeated and I'm like, holy shit, he lost a fight. It was crazy the way he did lose though. So like I understand people. I just don't understand when people are like, oh my god, he actually lost the fight. Like I've seen him lose. I think he's like 24 and like or 26 and 5 or some shit now, right? Or something like that.
But I will say he did though. Like I thought the general narrative, at least for me as well, was that him going to ONE FC was like UFC competition is way above ONE FC. So he lost to someone that we don't know.
Yeah.
That's like who is this?
But that's just us UFC fans being kind of ignorant.
Us Americans being ignorant.
Yeah. Because I mean, but low key though, I've heard for a long time that these ONE championship motherfuckers are motherfuck or what are they, Nick?
Mother effers, dude. They're such serious mother effers.
But it was crazy to see it. But my whole thing is like, bruh, even if that knee didn't come, I think he was getting finished no matter what because that guy was landing on him. He landed this nasty ass uppercut on DJ, and that shit rocked DJ pretty bad, bro. But yeah, the knee was crazy. And then, you know, especially because he was just kind of giving Aljamain, I guess, or people shit about how, oh, this is, I like down knees or whatever like that. And then after the fight, he still came out saying, I still agree with it. I still think that you should be able to knee down opponents. And
I like it.
Yeah, and honestly, for me, I think you should be able to. You know, it's like it is dangerous. Everything is dangerous. But all these other podcasts like what Brendan Schaub and all of them were talking about. It's like, is it any less dangerous of someone throwing a full force head kick to your fucking head and hitting you with their shin?
I agree with you. I think it's that is part of the fight game because you see when in the UFC when people are trying to avoid knees. You get that weird, like the hand on the ground playing type of stuff.
Yeah.
Then it doesn't look like an actual fight. She's like, oh, now you're playing with the rules.
Yeah, there should be. I think the main rule should be like, you know, no poking in the eyes, no grabbing the fence, or something that's going to stop like a transitional movement.
No groin shots.
Groin shots. Obviously shit like that. But I feel like other than that, I mean, you should be able to do, you know, fight. Should be able just to fight.
Nick, what do you think?
So when you watch that KO, it's like the optics of it is just
it's because you're not used to
initially I was a fan of knees to the ground, to a grounded opponent and all that stuff. But when you watch that KO and you just watch how bad, like to me, when you watch how bad he kind of folded and I didn't like it. It made me feel a little sick to my stomach a little bit because here's the thing. It's like
and Jeremy Stevens doing a flying knee to Dennis Bermudez.
So that's okay. Yeah, exactly. We'll talk about it. When you get kneed in the head, I just feel like when you're on the ground, you're fighting against gravity. You know what I mean? You have nowhere else to really go. If you're standing and you get kneed in the head or something from like a clinch or anything like that, I just feel like, yeah, like that's very rough and that sucks, but there's not as much give when someone's on the ground and they have like, say if they're pinned against the cage, their head is stuck against the cage, stuck against the floor, and you start raining down knees. I feel like, yeah, it's more realistic of a fight. And for sure, definitely, you know, and I feel like a lot of fighters shouldn't be playing that game of touching the floor and looking to get better positions, but it's just the consequences that we're dealing with in the end of the day is very, very steep. And it's like, if we can make it a little bit safer for the fighters and the athletes, I feel like it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's like, yeah, soccer kicks and knees to a downed opponent, it can be entertaining, but also it's like, there's a good chance that, you know, Demetrius Johnson, the DJ that we're used to seeing, may not come back from this, from injuries sustained from these types of blows, you know, and you only get a certain amount. And I feel like when you have these other variables like that you have to worry about, man, maybe in for the sake of saving our athletes and the people that we enjoy watching fight, maybe we should take into consideration what they're putting themselves through. It's like, if we can make it a little bit safer, I feel like maybe there's some merit to it.
Yeah, I like that. Let's also not allow ground and pound with hands either, because that's also fighting gravity as well. So like, I don't think that if a fighter gets on the ground,
think about the limb mass of a leg and a knee, the hard bone of a fucking kneecap versus your fist
versus Francis Ngannou dropping an elbow on your face.
Hey, that's Francis Ngannou, bro. But imagine Francis Ngannou throwing knees to somebody on a down opponent.
I don't know.
A knee to a down opponent from Francis Ngannou is going to be worse.
Okay, how about this? How about you take the knee, now you take the two hands? Why they doing like they do in K1? They release it, we hold it, and we still do that. Should we take that away? Clinch? Should we take clinch away?
I don't think so. That's fair.
Knees
or what about here's the only one. Wait, what about flying knees? When you're running your whole.
If we're seeing flying knees land like every fucking fight, and there people are getting knocked out, we're not seeing that, right? Because how hard is it to land a flying knee in the first place?
How do we know that we'd always see down knees to down an opponent if they're illegal?
I don't know, man, but I'm just saying.
You show me the data, Nick.
All right. Hey, well, let's pull it up. Let's pull it up, bro. And we'll go through flying knee knockouts versus like grounded opponent soccer kicks and knees, and then we'll see what's up. Until you get kneed in the fucking dome while you're on the ground, you won't understand what that fucking feels like.
But what about two people? I mean, think about it. Look, I'm just saying, how could someone clinching, which is why they took it out of K1, clinching and pulling, so this is more than gravity, because now you're pulling and you're going up. To me, that would be almost this kind of the same level getting kneed on the ground, even if you are, I'm not talking about someone's head on the ground, I'm saying someone all fours on the ground, you're still getting kneed and you're falling back rather than
definitely. Yeah.
So, I mean, with that logic, you would, I mean, if we're trying to be safe, then we'd have to take away
I think it's different. I think it's different though. I think it's different. And until you feel those positions, I don't think you'll really kind of like you'll see how hairy it can get really quickly. You know what I mean? But look, obviously, you know, there's with the rules comes a different game. And what you saw Adriano Moraes do, well, how he pulled that knee off from that position. So that was a pretty unique like knee to a downed opponent, which is fine.
That's like an Adesanya knee.
Yeah, like that's the evolution of it, right? That's the cool thing that you get. Like when you have these types of rules, you do see a different type of ground game, and because DJ was for a second framing, he was posturing up, which would have been totally fine. And in the UFC, he probably would have gotten up, but you could tell that like this is something that is evolving in the sport, which is fine. Look, if you're going to have it, you're going to have it. There's no ways around it. But in my personal opinion, if we could just eliminate one little thing that could cause a little more harm in certain positions, then I think maybe that's a good thing. But like you're saying, pulling someone's head down for a knee, that's if anything for me, that's very damaging.
Would get taken out as a fucking stomp. I don't even like watching face stomps.
Yeah. The soccer.
I think who made the best point was like Brendan Schaub about this situation. He was talking about it, and he was saying like the whole thing is, you know, in UFC when a knee to a down opponent happens, and it's like it looks really bad to us and shit because it's not supposed to happen. So like when people are in that positioning, they're not trying to defend or block that shit, right? Because they know like, oh, I'm not going to get kneed in this position. And he says what he thinks happened to DJ. He's like, I low-key just think he forgot that it's illegal in one.
I can see that from a lot of fighters.
Yeah, so like I could see like, it is I think a lot of shit's dangerous. Like with like throwing a fucking elbow to someone's head on the floor, and then especially if it's right next to the floor and you're hitting them and their head's bouncing off the shit. Like all of it's fucking dangerous no matter what. But yeah, I feel like if it was legal, I'm sure like it'd be I don't know how much we would see it because I feel like people would know like, oh, if I get in this position, I can get kneed in my face. You know,
I think we'd see it a lot, but I just don't think people. I think people protect it. But I feel like I'd see it a lot. Yeah.
Okay, imagine this, dude. You get rocked on your feet, right? You're out on your feet, and then you shoot a takedown, and then
you're getting kneed.
Get bombed, bro. Like, come on, dog. Like, what are we talking about here? It's not the same thing. It's not.
You're getting. Kneed.
It's not the same thing.
No, what? That's not what I said, though.
That's not what I'm saying.
No, no. What I'm saying is like getting kneed in the fucking head when you're on the ground and you're in a bad position. Like the consequences, I feel like to me, are just higher. You know what I mean? Like the consequences.
I wasn't disagreeing with you. All I was saying was like, I feel like obviously if it was legal, like people would know. Like I don't think that position would happen as much as it does right now because of people playing with. They know like, oh, I can be right here because I can't get kneed. And like what he was saying was like, we see it because, I mean, when it happens in the UFC, it's really bad because
of course,
when it happens, they're not you know, people aren't, people aren't prepped for it. So like, that's what I'm saying. Like if it was legal, I don't, cause what I was just thinking right now is like, we could really just go back and look at Pride, right? Because that was legal there and like soccer kicks and shit and see how many knockouts there were back in the day of people down.
Oh, they were there for sure. I remember that.
Yeah, so like
and they're pretty bad. To me, that's why that's another frame of reference. And ONE FC too. It's like because you see some finishes in ONE FC, you're like, oh, it just makes your skin crawl a little bit. Maybe I'm too fucking pussy for the sport. Who knows? Well, but coming from a non-fighter, I'll be like, man, let's just kick that shit to the curb for a little bit. That's just in my opinion. That's my personal opinion because I feel like the damage is pretty brutal.
Well, you know where the damage does get pretty brutal is our quick pick picks with Whittaker and Gastelum. Kevin Gastelum coming. He's not. Would you say last minute? I would say.
I feel like for middleweight, it's probably a little last minute because he got to cut a lot of weight.
Because it was like what 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago,
we'll say last minute because he does get kind of big. He has to cut, and it is kind of quick. And he's fighting Robert Whittaker, which is
he's missed weight at 85 before.
That is true. We have Robert Whittaker versus Kevin Gastelum. This is interesting. Does Robert Whittaker feel like he has to change too much game plan for Kevin Gastelum, or is this good for Robert that he has Kelvin right now? We'll start with Nick. You first.
I don't think so. I think Robert Whittaker has a very unique fighting style, and he knows what he's good at, and he knows what he excels at, and he's able to implement that very well on everybody he fights. And like Kelvin's very good, but I feel like style wise, this definitely favors Robert Whittaker. And I feel like whatever Kelvin can do, Robert Whittaker can do much better or just a little bit better or just as good. So I feel like Robert Whittaker he's number one contender for a reason.
Alex, what do you think? Wait, so you're picking Robert Whittaker.
I'm going Rob.
Interesting.
Bobby
Knuckles. Alex, what do you got?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big Whittaker fan. I thought he was going to beat Izzy, and I think if they rematch, I think he can make adjustments to possibly beat Izzy. But yeah, I think Whittaker's just better at everything. Like Kelvin's really good. I think just he's a little better at everything. And Kelvin won his last fight with like really good wrestling and shit like that. But I mean, Robert Whittaker has real good wrestling, defense. He has real good striking. I mean, I feel like the way for Kelvin to win this fight is if he knocks out Robert Whittaker. And aside from Izzy, finishing Whittaker, we've seen him take big shots from Till. We've seen him take big shots from Cannonier. I mean, we know he can take shots. So it's like, I think this is just a really hard fight. It's a good fight for Kelvin because it's a win-win. He gets to fight number one. If he wins, I mean, he's up there. And I mean, if not, I mean, he still did it on short notice. So it's whatever. But I think Bobby Knuckles takes this, baby.
I'm going to go with, what do you guys think from this face? What do you
Kelvin
think?
Gastelum.
You're gonna go with Robert because you're battling whether you want to go make it boring or you're battling whether you should just say fuck it and go with Kelvin. That's what you're battling right now. You're not battling who's gonna win or not. You're battling what's more exciting. That's what Gil's doing.
And what is the more exciting one, Nick? Finish this.
And I think it's Kelvin Gastelum.
What is the storyline? That's the storyline.
Because this is the storyline. Okay, you want to hear the storyline?
Think how it plays out.
Who expected Kelvin Gastelum to put on the fight of his life with Stylebender? Nobody saw that coming.
No one.
Whoever thought, he was going to show up and give Israel a good fucking fight, especially when he was way taller than him.
Not even Rafael Cordero.
He was like, Kelvin, good luck, buddy. That's what you hear him say. He was like, figure it out, bud. And he went out there and figured it out. So
with that exact
if anyone
accent.
could pull it off, it would be Kelvin Gastelum. Boom. That's who it is. That's Gil's pick, right?
My pick is Kevin Gastelum.
Kelvin, yo.
Kevlin Gastelum is for those exact reasons. And I think if Izzy's gonna have to do a rematch with someone, I think it's easier to sell. I think it's more exciting for Izzy to let me get that one back without being touched. And then also for the UFC as a promotional machine, so easy to sell. Yeah. So easy to sell. Robert Whittaker, Bobby Knuckles, love the guy. Super nice. One of my favorite fighters. I like his style, but it's just he doesn't like to engage in those conversations. It was a lopsided win. Do I think he'll beat Gastelum? Probably, but I'm going all the way for the Mexican Warrior because he had a fake belt that one time, and I liked it.
Oh, yeah, he was interim, right? Wasn't he?
No, he just borrowed Henry Cejudo. I'm sure to piss off
Henry Cejudo.
Oh, yeah,
well, it's because he was supposed to fight Whittaker, and Whittaker had the remember where he almost died, the stomach issues. He had to get immediate surgery.
Yeah.
Then he took Henry Cejudo's belt and I started wearing it at the Izzy fight because Izzy fought somebody, and then Izzy was like, "Boy, take that fucking belt off" and shit like that. So
said, "Boy,
you better take that shit off."
Yeah, that was great. All right, guys, let's do some quick picks for the next one. We have Jeremy Stephens and Drakkar Noir. Alex, who do you have for that?
Drakkar Noir? What the fuck?
Drakkar Close.
I know. Drakkar Close is a Arizona guy, so I'm gonna go with. He's good. He is really good. He's had some rough fights and tough decisions, but I think he's really good. Yeah. Jeremy Stephens is good too, and this is Jeremy Stephens. Is this his first fight at lightweight?
Yeah, in a while.
Has he never fought lightweight?
No, he's fought at lightweight.
I think he has, but
he knocked out Rafael Dos Anjos at lightweight. He's knocked out a lot of guys at lightweight.
What?
Early too. Rafael Dos Anjos doesn't even look the same in the knockout.
The only thing is Drakkar Close has been finished. So it's Jeremy Stephens, obviously we all know, has some punching power, but I think Drakkar Close will take this win by decision.
Interesting. Nicolas Cage, what do you got?
I'm gonna go Jeremy Stephens.
That is actually I wasn't expecting that.
I'm gonna go second round. Ooh. TKO.
I just have to ask, what do you like about Jeremy Stephens? I'm always rooting for the guy because he hasn't gotten a win in a while or a streak. Mm-hmm. But what do you like about him actually, in terms of just technically at this age?
As far as gatekeepers, in any division,
he's a gatekeeper.
I feel like he's probably the best. He doesn't look like he slows down, especially for how long he's been fighting. I think he's just a nasty, tough motherfucker, bro. And
he's a what?
There's a tough mother effer, bro. He's a tough mother lover. And I feel like there's something to it when you're fighting and you could tell he's still hungry for wins, So he's a tough fight for a lot of guys. And he's fought in the best guys.
Bro, he's crazy.
The best guys.
It's crazy.
His resume of fights.
Streak, you're right. Gilbert Melendez, Doo Ho Choi, Josh Emmett, before the losing streak is nuts.
He hasn't won since 2018. So I feel like this is a good fight for him. And a lot of the guys that he's been fighting are up and comer contenders. And Drakkar Close is really good too, but he's coming off a big loss from Beneil Dariush, that KO, right? So man, if there's a recipe for Jeremy Stephens to get a W, I think it would be against this guy.
I think Drakkar fought another one before. Oh no, that was his last fight, huh?
Yeah, because it kept getting canceled with Luis Pena.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Wait, what do you mean canceled?
He was supposed to fight Luis Pena multiple times.
I thought you were talking about I was thinking Juliana Pena, and she was trying to cancel him for something.
Yeah, she was.
Gosh, guys.
He's also dating Courtney Casey.
And you know
Is he really?
She's good. She's a good fighter.
Very good. Very good.
Andre still in the game. Oh my gosh, such an old school fighter. Arlovsky. When I think of Andre, I think of Affliction. That's how long ago I'm
for sure.
He did fight in Affliction.
And then you think about how many guys have fought against Fedor era guys, you know, and Andrei Arlovsky is still one of them.
Is it him and it's really him, right? He's the only
Who
one.
else?
Yeah, he's like the last one.
Maybe the Nogueira brothers are like considered part of their like era, but I don't think.
Are they still fighting?
I don't know who's fighting. I think one of them is.
That's crazy.
Rogerio.
Or
they're all named Rogerio.
I love we talked about Andre Berlin. And then also Chase Sherman. So Alex, what do you got for this?
Honestly, I actually think this is a very winnable fight for Andrei Arlovsky. Really do. Yeah, I mean, I've seen
who's Chase Sherman? Chase Sherman. Okay, good.
I've seen Chase Sherman. I mean, Chase Sherman used to be in the UFC. He got cut, came back. But I mean, he's a good fighter, but he's never really done like anything for me where he's like, oh my god, this guy's like insane. And Andrei Arlovsky's a fucking vet, bro. I mean, he does good in fights still. You know, he just loses by like weird decisions, or his last fight he got caught with a submission. But he was actually like, when I rewatched that fight, he did get rocked, but he was landing some good shit on Aspinall when they fought.
Yeah.
So I think this is a good fight for Andrei Arlovsky. I hope if he wins that he retires. Because like at this point, he's been in so many wars and shit like that. It's like, bro, you're never gonna get that. You're not gonna be the champ anymore. And I mean, he has to have some money because he's been fighting forever, bro. Yeah. He was a heavyweight champ multiple times, you know. So
and he was also in the Equalizer too with Denzel Washington.
Ooh. Very good with Tate Fletcher, probably. Okay.
Yeah. So I just think I hope he wins and he can just retire after that on a win.
Nick, you going with OG Affliction or you going with Sherman?
You know what? I was going to go with Chase Sherman,
but Alex convinced you, huh?
A little bit, you know, and I do want to see Andre go out with a W.
Me too.
And, you know, Chase Sherman's young. He's still 30. Andrei Arlovsky's like, he's damn near, what, 44, 42? 42. He's 42 years old. And I feel like it's getting close, you know.
Dude,
so,
30,
you know what?
50 fights. 50 fights.
Isn't that crazy? 30 and 20, bro.
That's so
terrible. How has he not got? See, I don't get how some fighters
heavyweight too.
For heavyweights get cut. And you're like,
because he still wins, yo. He's still winning.
He win. Just a couple of years ago, he was on a good win streak, bro.
Well, not even a couple of years ago. Like before he fought
Tom Aspinall.
Before he fought Tom Aspinall, he was what? Up two
he?
fights? Yeah, it's up 2 fights.
Yeah, that's he gets on win streaks and shit.
Yeah, and he good. He'll like lose 2, you know. I mean, lose 1, win 2, you know. So hey, man, and he's still competitive. It's not like he's getting blown out in these fights either. Like even with Tom Aspinall, he did kind of get blown out a little bit, but like he just got caught. And that's heavyweight though. It's different. It's just heavyweight.
I guess I feel salty because I'm such a Uberian fan. I was like, it was like we lost one. I mean, his wasn't that bad. His like record. So I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Yeah. Let's move over to the next one. We got Al Hassan versus Malcone. Nick, what do you got?
Jacob Malcone. You know what? I'm just gonna go with Abdul. He has more experience. You know what I mean?
The name alone, just all of it.
Abdul.
Together.
You know, he fights like he's lost to some really tough guys, but he also beat some really good guys too. I'm gonna go with him. Sorry, I'm just gonna go with those.
Yeah, you know, so I don't know if you guys know who the guy he's fighting is, Jacob Malcone. It's Robert Whittaker's teammate. And he fought on the card when he fought with Izzy, and he got starched.
He did.
By Philip Hawes or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean,
that was a tough fight.
The guy that he's fighting to hits like a motherfucker too. The guy that he's fighting did just get knocked the fuck out by Chaos Williams. Yeah. He got knocked out. But honestly, I think I'm gonna go with fuck, I literally accidentally just closed the fucking event page and I forgot.
Abdul or Jacob?
Yeah, Abdul. I was like, fuck, I don't want to say his name wrong.
How do you not forget Abdul Razak Al Hassan?
My bad.
We got Luis Pena versus Alex Munoz. I am very invested in this fight. I'm going to pick Luis Pena because, one, Alex Munoz beat Nick Newell, and I'm a big Nick Newell fan. I don't like Alex for doing that.
It's kind of fucked up, bro.
It is messed up.
Fucked up.
Nick Newell should be in the UFC. Nick, what do you got?
You know what? Alex Munoz is a pretty good wrestler. He's coming off he did get beat up from Nazareth. You know what I mean? And Luis Pena does have some issues with some takedowns and some wrestling. So I'm gonna just go with the grappler here.
He beat Nick Newell.
I'm gonna go with the grappler, bro. I'm gonna go with Alex Munoz, and I feel like he's putting stuff together. So I'm gonna go with him.
I have the same thought. I was literally what I was gonna say. Alexander
three.
Munoz
1, 2, 3.
is
Nice.
a good wrestler, bro. He's like, I think he's one of the wrestling coaches, right, at Team Alpha Male. If I'm not mistaken.
And
or he's like an
CSA
assistant coach or CSA. That's what it is. Sorry. But yeah.
CrossFit,
So like, yeah, I don't know. I think Munoz is
CrossFit
gonna.
Sports Academy.
I really like Pena. I liked him a lot more when he was at AKA because AKA is the fucking spot, you know. But
I'm gonna say this: you guys are against inspiration. That man is inspiration.
Yeah, who doesn't like him?
You're choosing his abuser. That's all I'm saying.
Damn, his colonizer, huh? Fuck.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Alexander Munoz is gonna win.
Okay, my speech didn't work. All right, we have Ricardo Ramos versus Bill Nye, the El Gio side.
Oh, El
LGO.
His nickname is Señor Perfecto.
Algero.
Nick, could you have Ramos or LGO?
This is a pick'em. If there's ever a pick'em, I say it is this one.
I don't know the second guy. I don't know why I've never seen him fight. Have I seen him fight? Have I should have?
Who's the second guy? What do you say his name?
Algio.
Yeah, he just fought fucking I was just looking at it too. Who did he fight? He
Spike Carlisle.
Carlisle. Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go with Spike Carlisle. Even though he's
did we say
crazy.
Spark?
I said Spark. Even though he's kind of crazy, he's really good. And he's really tough. So, but you know, Ricardo Ramos has been in the UFC for a while, and he's fought a lot of guys in the UFC. I think I'm gonna go with Ramos just on experience.
Damn,
you know, just for
pick the wrong one. Here's why you guys were wrong.
And he's younger too.
Bill, he's older. All right, guys, those are our picks for the
more experience.
More experienced fight. You always got to go with experience. You guys know that. That's how sports work. Guys, that was our show today. I hope you enjoyed that. Those picks help you out. We've got a lot of stuff work in the works for 2021. Are we doing a live stream? Are we gonna do one? What's the next big pay-per-view?
Jorge Masvidal, K Maru.
Are we gonna do it, guys? Are we gonna do a live stream?
Yeah,
guys, I think we're gonna do another live stream. We're gonna hang out with you guys. We're gonna invite some friends over. I kind of want to meet some of you guys too. So I will figure out I keep saying this. I'm gonna figure a way how I can set something up where maybe it's through the Instagram DMs or something where we can bring some of you on in between the fights to get to know you a little better. So make sure if you are an avid listener of this wonderful show / podcast that you do what we said earlier: like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell that Nick added in that little freestyle. And yeah, so you can basically find out how to jump on with us. So make sure you do that. We love you guys so much. Make sure you follow us at We Out Here MMA for all your updates on Instagram. Make sure you follow Lift God, Alex Acosta on Twitch and on Instagram and all things social media. Make sure you follow Nick at Nick the Ear, not Nick the Mouth, not Nick the Head, not Nick the Ear.
Nick the Mouth, I like.
I like Nick the Mad for today because Nick has been mad like all day, bro.
Confusing.
Yeah, I get mad.
Brandon confused. Great. Now everyone's gonna be searching Nick the Mouth, and they're gonna get an OnlyFans account. Fantastic.
That's a different site. Yeah, that's different.
But follow Nick. I almost said Nick the Mouth. Follow Nick the Ear. I was like, hey, follow Nick the Mouth, nicktheear.com. We love you guys so much. Please dance.
Thank you guys.
This is what we do.
What you thought this was? Live God on the rise, coming up on the mud. Silly hope.
Can't do that.
This shit is in my